In the last month I've been 37 days in the north of Thailand, 1 month in Vietnam, 10 days in China and 3 weeks in South Korea. But now it's time to travel across Japan. It will be a real challenge, because this country is famous to be incredibly perfect. And maybe my job here is to prove if it's true or not. Again, looking for the rhythm of places. 3 cities on my schedule, the most well-known Tokyo, Kyoto and Osaka. But let's start right with this last one. Osaka. I'm spending 1 week here and my daily schedule is very full. Dotonbori, Nara Park, Shinsekai, and probably I'm having also a visit at the Universal Studios, and I'm not having a second chance coming back more than 1 time in all of these places like I did before. I really want to enjoy it at my best, but I hope to not romanticize it too much, because it's really easy to fall into this trap. If you want to discover more about my great journey through Japan, follow me for more content like this and see you in the next video.
I landed in a country where everything is super aesthetic, where every single thing, even the smallest, deserves to be photographed and integrated into the narrative. Japan is the greatest challenge I could face during the great journey, and to survive it is essential to lighten the workload. I will not document every neighborhood, but it will be more of a decoding of the widespread rhythms perceived while leaving the city, telling it as a whole and not through subsystems. In Osaka, there is less to see than I expected, but what you cannot fail to notice is the megalomania of the most commercial areas. Dotonbori and Shinsekai are its most recognizable core, but Nambayazaka Jinja is no less one of the most famous temples in Japan, for the extravagant grandeur of its facade. Walking through the city feels like strolling along the streets of an amusement park or inside an open-air circus without boundaries. Octopuses, crabs, dragons, cows, and giant fish loom heavily over everyone's heads, and for the first time I consciously chose to turn a technical mistake into language, sharply cutting off the upper bodies of the crowd below to give importance to the fantasy world made of giant sculptures that make the entrance to the building, be it a restaurant or an arcade, a secondary element that almost loses importance. And if during the day this strong exuberance is already perceived at 100%, that sense of circus attractions multiplies as soon as the sky begins to darken, becoming an excess that borders on the ridiculous. Osaka becomes a playground, a dream that you move through with your eyes open. A city that fully makes itself available, opens up, involves you, and exposes itself more than ever.
Along my first walk in Osaka, there is something that surprised me. People were hiding. All pubs and restaurants gave me a feeling of closure, with curtains, flags, ads, doing their best to hide their activities behind windows. But then I started exploring the city and I've never seen so much overexposure all along. You've already seen on my profile how fascinating and spectacular are the streets here. They're not shy and the facades tell everything you need to know with their explosive colors. But I found out that also the quieter local markets act the same. Not with giant signs, but showing themselves as breaking the border on the thresholds. Chefs cook your meal in front of everyone, and every spot becomes a real free cooking exhibition. Not just attracting clients to the stand, but making them part of the show. And if you enjoyed this video guys, follow me for more content like this, and see you in the next video.
Contrary to what has been said, in the less frequented neighborhoods I encountered a completely opposite feeling, a sense of closure, as if the citizens of Osaka wanted to hide from prying eyes. There are bars and restaurants completely obscured, with clear signs forbidding photography, with curtains and anything else useful to prevent passers-by from knowing the reality behind that glass. But at the same time, I wonder if it is all a strategy to attract attention, intriguing those who walk by, not openly showing anything but only letting you sense what is hidden behind the glass. So the theme of the thresholds comes back into play, a boundary that in Osaka changes shape, shifting from total access to denial, often simply by turning a corner. It seemed that everything in the city was accessible, but this tension made Osaka more realistic and less perfect. It's not only exposure and spectacle, but as it should be, it regulates its relationship with those who observe it, deciding where to place its boundaries and making itself inaccessible when needed. There is finally one last theme, which eliminates any thresholds and type of interaction. From the very first moment I set foot in Japan, I recognized vending machines as a constant rhythm, always and everywhere present, in every alley, 24 hours a day. Automatic eyes on that, if during the day they blend with the colors of the city, at night shine brightly, heavily declaring their presence. Inanimate presences, yet apparently alive, that perform by lightening up to declare their existence, offering a service without staff, remaining accessible while eliminating any kind of relationship. The theme that remains, however, and ensures that the thread of the narrative does not break, is Osaka's ability to attract attention to itself.
Osaka has come to an end. Everything here is so exaggerated, and the city makes its best to capture your attention. Big signs, wonderful and animated facades, exhibitionist markets, bright vending machines all along the night, and even the restaurants that hide themselves. I'm quite sure they're doing that right to make you even more curious to go in. A city that wants to be seen and experienced 24/7, a giant open-air circus that makes you feel like in a cartoon, where the main theme can be a perfect overlapping between threshold and accessibility, categorized in 4 different types of relationships built around exposure: direct attraction, participative spots, immediate access, and indirect attraction. I'm not shooting really anymore at people, but I'm never going outside my narrative thread, studying the rhythm of places and their way to exist when people are there. And if you enjoyed this video, guys, follow me for more content like this, and see you in the next video.
Just outside Osaka, I encountered millions of Daruma that invade the Katsuoji temple, bringing good fortune. Small, large, orderly, disorderly, even where you don't expect to find them, with their furious fire-red gaze. In Nara Park, hundreds of deers around, endlessly performing bows and chasing anyone who smells like biscuits. It is an enchanted place where it feels like walking inside a fairy tale, and I could not conclude my stay here in the city without going to Universal Studios. As soon as I entered Osaka, I had assimilated it to an open-air circus, an amusement park. Yet it is not so much play that defines these places. It is more the intensity, the Ruma, deer, and vending machines multiplying until they become landscape, and from Dotonbori and Shinshikai all the way to Hogwarts and the Nintendo world, where the spectacle is not only observed but becomes a total environment in which you immerse yourself. Osaka is a system that amplifies everything, but not randomly. It takes what exists and pushes it beyond measure through a system of controlled excess.